What's going on, everybody? This is the Cannabis Couch here on Chaotic Radio. We are brought to you by the TerpHouse. We have some introductions to do on this episode here. Danny Boom is my new co-host.
What's happening?
We also have a very, very special guest in the mix today, Mr. Eddie Funkstra.
Yo.
So, Danny Boom, introduce yourself, bro. Tell us what you're all about, being the new co-host here.
Yeah, hey, what's happening? I'm Danny Boom. Been in this here business for quite some time. I couldn't even really put a number on it. I make music. I know Shay through why we're here right now. And, been fucking around for a long time.
All right, that's what's up, Danny Boom. We've known each other for a little bit. We met through another company that I worked for. And we've had a very good relationship ever since. And I got to say, I'm very happy to have you here, Danny. Thank you very much. I'm very humbled by you being my co-host and accepted my offer to be here on my show. And Mr. Eddie, man, I can't even tell you how humbled I am to just be in your presence every time I am. And honestly, man, how honored I am to have you here on my show. This is just a little startup, and to have you here is an awesome thing for me, bro. So thank you very much. And
no problem, man. Thanks for thinking of me like that. I'm just a normal guy busting my ass all day, so appreciate you thinking of him a little bit more. Thank you.
Oh, you are, man. You are in my eyes, bro, and a lot of other people's eyes too. I want you to know that, man. You help out a lot of people. Your products are just top notch. I've had your products several times. I very thank you for all those samples that you've kicked me down with over the time. And man, it's just an awesome product line that you have. You have some new products and stuff that you're launching and everything. Why don't you tell us about all the stuff you carry? Yeah,
we have Funksta West Coast, which is I'm Eddie Funksta. I'm from the West Coast, so that's pretty much where the label comes from. The brand, that's I've been publishing it at Rosenthal's Grow Books from the Marijuana Growers Handbook, Volume 1. That was in about 2009, 2010, somewhere around them. And I was also in his Big Book of Buds 4 as one of the breeders and growers. He had me write an article about how I was helping cancer and AIDS patients and what we were doing.
Nice.
And I was already with over 10 years of experience of breeding, and that was almost 10 years ago now. So I've been doing this for a little bit over 20 years. We started growing in 98, in the hood. And so we just kind of figured it was time to start branding the drugs, I guess, because Prop 215 let us. So we started making the movement of it. So we came up with a company called, Funksta West Coast came up with a brand called Native Healing Oils. So worked with Rick Simpson, not personally like on a 9-to-5, but we've spoken about things, getting stuff. We interviewed him for a movie in Amsterdam. So we had some good direction from him of where his heart was in the medicine. He never called it Rick Simpson oil, so it was called Phoenix Tears. Everybody around that knew Rick Simpson or watched his videos, out of respect, called it Rick Simpson oil. But in that, he was pretty frustrated because there's a lot of bad oil that was made a lot of people sick. So when I came back from Washington after doing some legalization setups, things up there and stuff, we came back and we seen that there was a major gap that was still missing from when we left. When we were making the oil back, before we left to Washington, it was still, the demand was way more than we can ever produce. So when we came up with Native Healing Oils, we called the oil NHO. So it's Native Healing Oil. That's actually the original term, from Rick, from the beginning of the whole movement. That's what we founded in the Pharmacopoeia book of 1856, is that it's somewhere 1850, so I'm not a historian, but somewhere around that time. In the Pharmacopoeia book, it explains to you how they were making, cannabis oil. And it was legal. It was used for tons of things, from surgeries to tooth removal to, women having babies. So this stuff was used for everything. It was pretty much snake oil. They'd put a little bit of cannabis and some alcohol, and they would sell it on a truck and move around town and, in different city every month. So, and it was snake oil. It'd make them feel a little weird. They get a little high, and they thought it worked. So, we just figured instead of being a snake oil company, as all the companies out there that are calling their product are, so Rick released a statement about 2 years ago saying that he does not stand behind anybody calling anything Rick Simpson oil. He doesn't even call it Rick Simpson oil. His friends around him don't call it Rick Simpson oil. It's called Phoenix Tears. He's has the company all over the world. They make these oils for patients. He has his own theory on people that he's helped, of his opinions of helping his friends and how many grams it takes to cure people. People watch his video, Run from the Cure, and it's the base of all healing when somebody that you love gets cancer or gets crazy disorder they don't know how to help, or the medical system just gives up on them because you gave up on the medications. So there's tons of reasons why people go to this source to find these oils. So in that, a lot of people got bad oils, made people sick. People using isopropyl alcohol, and stuff that's making your liver bleed, making your spleen bleed, your pancreas bleed. Like this isn't helping people. So Rick had a major statement that says that he doesn't support any companies. Only his Phoenix Tears company is who he stands behind. If you can get the product, which is only available in Canada, that's changing. He's moving into the country now. He's doing his thing. But I'm from here. I've been here. Yep. I'm born and raised in East LA. I'm from San Bernardino, and I'm from Southern California. So I figured Native American, native healing oils. That's me. I believe in ancient medicines and coming back to the originals before science. Has done a lot of great for us, but it also hindered humans by medications and the way they prescribe medications and stuff like that for us. So I just wanted to go back to the original things on how you eat. Food is your medicine, and these tools of plants, they're just tools. So we wanted to bring it another level. So native healing oils, NHO, we make our syringe, which is 500 milligrams of THC up to 1,000. You only fit about 1,000. We haven't made 100% THC yet, but we've gotten up into the 90s. So we've gotten the medication to really work very strong. But we just started taking product that was not sprayed with pesticides, still had a reason to move, but didn't have a good proper shelf life. People don't want to smoke this weed. It's a little old looking. Right. After a month, people are like, that's old weed. Yeah. Nowadays, you get a 12-hour cure. It's cut and it's put on the shelf and it's sold. So when I pull out, cured weed, people don't want it and they don't want to buy it. They don't want to pay for it. And even though it takes some experience to cure weed properly, people don't pay for that. They don't care. So a lot of my friends had a lot of weed go bad. So bad per se for you pulling it out at a party and being the cool guy. So in that case, I was glad because I can make a product that can cure your family, that can help, people get out of the deathbeds. And we've done it over and over and over for the last 12 years. We've been doing that here and in Washington and in Oregon. And I've done this work in numerous places around the world. So we figured, hey, let's come up with some products that make sense. I've been walking into convalescents, critical care units, and ICU units for the last 2 decades, helping cancer and AIDS patients die. With that, I didn't bring a joint of weed. I can't. There's oxygen in the hospital. You'll blow up the place. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You had to be more strategic, more smart. You had to have these doctors respect you and me not get arrested, which I've been in handcuffs before in hospitals helping cancer patients while they pass. So we came up with tinctures, sublingual tinctures. I'd carry a bottle of tinctures in with me to the hospitals, and we would start low dosing patients that were giving up on the medical industry. So we make tinctures. We have those available through another company, but we put our logo on it because there are patients that can't do it. They're sick. I'm healthy enough to do this product, so that's the reason why I make these products. We make canna caps out of 3 different types of beneficial oils: coconut oil, avocado oil, and grapeseed oil. Mm-hmm. So we've chosen these as really good, healthy oils to infuse cannabis with. So we make a 1-to-1 THC CBD canna caps, and we also make THC-rich canna caps with no CBD, and then we make some CBD-only canna caps. And they're low dose from 5 milligrams to 50 milligrams. There's no reason to give somebody that's dying 300 milligram brownie.
Right. No, not at all.
You flip them out. They're already going through psychosis of them dying, and now you don't need to panic them because now they're feeling their hair grow, and they're hearing the roaches communicating in the corner. Yeah, they're flipping out. It's not medicine. So it's about bringing people on, and so we started making the candy caps that were low dose and a couple of different options, and then we started to recently we came up with a new product. Well, didn't come up. We've been using it for a while. We finally branded it, and they're suppositories. We call them Option 2, and those are for rectal use for patients that are liver cancer patients, compromised renal, bad livers, bad kidneys, bad pancreas, people in diabetes and stuff like that. It's really hard for them to ingest the oils or to ingest edibles or to even smoke cannabis. So we go into convalescent homes and help people on ALS and that are on feeding tubes or Crohn's disease that are having these, digestive issues. So we give another option, and that's where we come in with Option 2. We already know that patients that smoke cannabis, you're only getting around 11 to 15% saturation of THC into the body. You eat an edible, you're getting anywhere from 30 to 40% saturation of THC and cannabinoids into the body. in the rectal, you get 80% up to 80% of the medicine is delivered through the body, into the body, directly through the body, through the largest mucous membrane in our body.
It's like shotgunning it.
Sure is.
Mainline.
Wow.
And it lasts too, 8 to 12 hours. So you can take a 20 milligram 1-to-1, 20 milligrams THC, 20 milligrams of CBD. People laugh. They're like, 20 milligrams? Like, yeah, stick it up there. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it more than that blunt that went around, more than that big joint that went around. You know, more. You're going to feel this, and you're going to need it. And especially when patients that have their mouths taped, they have a feeding tube down their nose, and they actually have an oxygen tube going down their throat through a tracheal or down there. You can't give them a joint. You can't give them a vape pen. Nope. You can't give them in topicals. You know, when you're dying internally of a situation, you can't rub topicals into them. So the suppositories were the only option that we've got to, besides using it with an IV, and where I'm not comfortable with that. I don't believe it's that type of a medicine personally.
No, it's brilliant, man.
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, so we came up with the option 2, and that's it had to be respectable when patients need to come ask for suppositories. Of course, everybody laughs. I'm going to shove this up my ass. Yeah, you should shove it up there sideways because you think it's funny.
And that's why I feel bad. I didn't mean to make fun, but I'm like, wow. I have a cousin who's paraplegic, and it's hard for them to even just eat food, like, and even bowel movements or whatever. Just something like that for medication is really smart, dude.
Thank you. And we helped a gentleman in Washington. His name was Fumo. So La Fumo makes these pipes. They're kind of like steamrollers. And Bernardo was a great friend of mine. He was a good, great friend. And he had liver cancer, and he couldn't consume orally. And so he's the one that educated us very well before he passed about using suppositories. We used them before with some of our cancer patients and stuff, but it was more of they were at wit's end. They were going to pass. They were trying any option. So when Fumo was doing it as a better option, it made a lot more sense to me instead of the only option. Like, oh, well, you can still smoke, but you can't eat the oils. But he's like, no, but I need these oils, and this is how I put it in my body. And it made a lot of sense. He unfortunately passed away a few years ago, but he was a great mentor when it came to the suppository issue and health. And then my wife was very much into that type of healing because she's had her own issues, and our friends have had issues, and so we're very much on this. We found out through a couple of doctors that 1 out of 3 Americans, or humans, adults, suffer from hemorrhoids. So that made a lot of sense to me, that a lot of people suffer from hemorrhoids. So we're like, well, let's make these suppositories for people that have colon cancer, prostate cancer, Crohn's disease, liver disease,
right to the source.
Liver cancer. Yes, exactly. Let's give them a complete saturation of the product. Well, in the side effect, we found out a bunch of these people had hemorrhoids, and they're being cured of their hemorrhoids and their fissures, which fissures is a tear, which is a tear in your colon. And so a tear in your colon can happen because you push too hard, or you're constipated, or this happens to just normal people.
Right.
We're sitting in the doctor's office with people, and they're like, hey, I have to tell my doctor about this, and they're asking if we have butt sex. Like, well, if you do, tell them so they know why you're going to keep tearing that hole.
Yes.
If not, then they can teach you how to be more preventatively conscious about it. We're all grown adults. There's no reason to be scared about our freakiness. I mean, shit. It is what it is. Yeah. Everybody is. We're human freaks, and so nature does it, and we're replicating it. So we're like, hey, can we help this condition? Can we help this area? Can we deliver a supportive healing directly to this area? So we came up with the good suppositories we call option 2. So you get to walk up into the bud tender and ask for native healing oils option 2, and anybody that's at the bud counter isn't going to laugh because you asked for a suppository, and someone's going to giggle under their throat or under their voice. And so we shift gears, and my wife was like, hey, we're making these and they're doing pretty well. I think we can make one of these for women. I think there's a woman option here that we can help with. Now, my wife has had a hysterectomy for almost 6 years. She hasn't had menstrual problems in a long time, but they gave her hysterectomy because they believed she had ovarian cancer or cervical cancer. She also had endometriosis, which is an extremely a lot of bleeding and discomfort in the uterus. Us as men, we don't know this shit. We don't care. Not that we don't care, but we don't know to care. We don't know. Exactly. The women bleed every month. They starts when they're 12. Unfortunately now, because of the hormones and the foods. So women are starting periods really fast, and they're to the point now where women can't. They get migraine headaches. They can't. live with their family. They can't provide for themselves because the cramping is so intense they can't handle it. So we're like, well, why don't we make a CBD or THC option to try to, battle the bloating, battle the cramping, and maybe stop PMS for a lot of these women that suffer from the onset of the period. We understand that once the monthly comes on, you can't, put a suppository in there, but we know that before it comes on, it's preventative maintenance as always, and maybe you can bring your period down from 100% of pain that you've been suffering with since you were 12 to maybe, 20%, or you can comfortably deal with it, and you can start your day, ride your bike, go for a run, cook dinner for your kids, and have a better morale for the day because you're not in all this terrible pain.
That helps everybody.
Amen.
It's quality
when
of
you
life.
when you hurt those down there areas, dude, everything sucks.
Yeah.
If you deal with somebody that can't, it's got a hemorrhoid and can't sit down, they're angry as shit.
Yep.
Literally.
Bro,
because
I've had a few of those. I'm not happy about it.
And they
But
work.
It's like,
He's got something for
who's
you.
got hemorrhoids? I
I've had it in my
do.
life.
I do. I'm not ashamed of it. It happens.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, you know why it happens? Happens because you drive a lot, you're sitting in the car a lot. You don't eat a proper meal in time, which is who has time to eat a proper meal?
That's me all day, dude. I work 4 jobs. I don't ever eat right. I go home and eat Carl's Jr. at 9:30 at fucking night. And it's horrible.
How many great ideas were made on the toilet?
Thousands.
It wasn't a
All
fast
of them.
push. It wasn't a fast push.
No.
That was at least a 40-minute thought process there, thinking, man, that dude was on the toilet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's, and then that also can cause a hemorrhoid. That can cause a fissure. That can cause these problems that keep you from actually sitting down to drive to work.
Right.
From sitting down at work.
They used to call it trucker's butt.
Exactly. And I know a lot of truckers. My father's a trucker. He's never asked for these because he won't. But his diabetic leg, we've helped cure it with our Canacaps and our ghetto salves because I was using them in capsules. But then I said, Dad, I'll just put it in a cup for you and just rub it on your leg. And we're able to get rid of his diabetic ulcers on his legs that the doctors took 11 months to do absolutely nothing to. So it was getting worse. We stopped it and it went away. And it was just in these oils. And I believe it's just the cannabis oil. The other oils are just a delivery system. They just help it so you don't put this sticky, pasty shit all over your leg.
Right.
Or you don't have to put some sticky, pasty shit in your butt. You're buying us dinner tonight. Thanks.
Yeah, dude. Your phone. You're on the radio.
That's the alarm. No, honestly, I have a friend who he had prostate cancer, and he's tried everything. He did chemo, everything, and I mean, good news, he's still alive today. He's
good.
great. He beat his cancer, but he came to me because I was a grower, and I made some tea. I gave him a gallon of this weed tea, and he's just like, he got into this whole CBD thing, the legal, I don't know what it was, like a MLM thing. I don't know. I'm not going to say any names of what business that was, but I gave him a gallon of weed tea. He drank it, and he's like, dude, I had the most, it relaxed his body, and he was able to sleep for the first time, and his stress went away.
Yeah.
Months later, I saw him, and he was just like walking around like he was fine. It's prostate cancer. It's some serious shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's around to this day, cancer free.
And we've had
miracle drug.
And that's been a lot of the problem too with the CBD stuff, because a lot of the CBD isolate that's coming from Europe and the people are getting a lot into. There's a lot here made in America too. I work with the Hare hemp family, Jack Hare's family, and they produce a hemp quality, American made and high quality, and it's good 99.5% CBD, pure, no THC, like literally 0.01% THC. It's a great product. Mm-hmm. I use it in my products. But I also have a bunch of people that seek CBD only. And so these people, for the last year, I've been dealing with them. I've been coming in and trying to like sweep up behind the CBD mess, because these people are buying this, hemp oil CBD coming from who knows where, with no scientific research except for a Sanjay Gupta documentary on CNN and CBD working. And now everybody and their mom is paying $100 for a 1 milliliter bottle.
Yeah, it's definitely a new trend.
It's a joke.
Indeed.
And so I go into these places, people are like, well, I've been taking CBD for 3 months. This is what I'm taking. And they show me the CBD only product from Isolate that's coming from who knows where. And there's no results or any benefits in their test results. They still have the tumors. They're still uncomfortable. They're still stressed out and freaking out because they're dying now. And one thing I've explained to a lot of these patients is mellow out. We're all terminal. No one's here forever. So we're born to die. So you have a gift to tell your friends and loved ones goodbye and get your plate ready for you to go. Some of us get in a car, drive off, and never come back, and we don't get shit done.
Yes, sir.
So, getting a diagnosis of one of these ailments is not the end of the world. But when they seek this CBD product and they want to get healed from it, like they believe that they're going to and they don't, they call me in. They come in and they contact me because, do you have CBD only products? And I tell them I have a couple. But if you've been using CBD only products and you're still not in any better position, you should try some THC. I hear it all the time. I can't take THC. I don't want THC. It doesn't work well for me. I'm not good with it. I'm allergic to it. I've heard every excuse.
Let me ask you a question real quick. We have a topic that we've talked about here on the Cannabis Couch a couple of times, and the fact that you do need everything to really use this as a medicine. You need the CBDs, you need the terpenes, you need the THC all as a whole to use this as a medicine, because our body does have a delivery system for it. So when you're only taking one part of it, you're only getting part of that delivery system. You're only getting part of the medicine. Yep. Is that your opinion too?
I do believe that, but I do believe that there's so many sources of people making products that there's a guy that he's an expert on THCA and he's making amazing THCA products out there. There's a guy out there doing wickedly great CBDA processing and CBDA products. He should keep making what he's doing. The consumer itself should find out what they need and what they have, and we still don't know the research of them. I mean, they're barely opening the doors, and it's been, since 1937, 1914, they really put the hold on us in Utah. So, I mean, the history of cannabis and it's being shut down for healing has been so long that the arrogance of it is barely opening the door for us to see the clarity of how much we can heal and what these properties are. And I've seen these test results where they're testing the flower, or they're testing the hash, and they have THC, THCA, CBD, CBDA, CBN, CBG. You have all these peaks, and they all have a number. But then you have all these other peaks in the middle that don't have anything yet. Mm-hmm. And the scientists call it noise. That's not noise. They just don't have a name for it yet. And that's what's curing all of us, is the noise.
So we need cannabis education.
We need full plants. We need the whole thing. We don't need to just take CBN. We don't need to just take CBG. We don't need to just take CBD. I believe that in all the last 20 years, and the people I've helped get better in life, it was all THC. I've only had CBD access for the last 6-7 years, personally. Right. So, and also to the point where nobody wants to grow CBD. My friends that are growing OG Kush and Sour Diesel never wanted to take room out of their garden to put CBD plants in there. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't being grown on a mass level for me to actually do a healing on people. Right. There'd be 2 plants in a 50-plant mix of our oils. So the CBD wasn't heavily in there to cure a lot of these people or to help them in their ailments. So now I go in there. They've been taking CBD. There's nothing any better. I've come up with this correlation and this opinion that I have now, is that you take person's pain away. You're sitting there right now in pain. If your pain was completely gone, that doesn't make you feel better. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make you better. That's THC. THC and CBD. Okay, your pain's gone. Now laugh because the wind touched your skin. Feel that funniness inside of you. Feel how good you feel. Feel how you can communicate with people now, because your walls of the ego of you think you're a bad person or they're a bad person, that's gone now, because THC has torn that wall down, and it's us communicating with community again. That's what Prop 215 was. Dennis Perone told me to my face. I wrote Prop 215 to give a community to sick and dying people. It wasn't to capitalize. Yeah. It wasn't for Prop 64. It wasn't for Prop 19. It wasn't for all these things to change our law to capitalize the money. It was about having cannabis accessible to people that need it, because it helps for many things and all things. And so with the THC, I push it on people. I have so many people that call me, I want CBD only. And I always explain to them, try some THC. And when they finally get over the hurdle with the 5 milligram of THC capsule, they're more susceptible to use it, because they're taking 100, 300 milligrams of CBD. They're like, I'm only going to take 5 milligrams of THC. Like, yeah, you're about to only take 5 milligrams, which realistically the test came out 4.53. So you're only really taking 4.5 milligrams of THC. But I'm not going to print that. We're going to print 5 milligrams. We're just going to keep it easy, because let's keep it real. Yeah. I'm going to be realistic with it. So it's around 5 milligrams. They take that, and then they tell me this: it didn't work. 5 milligrams of THC didn't work. You didn't feel anything. No, I didn't feel nothing. My next step is 20 milligrams of THC. They take that capsule, no CBD in it, and they tell me, that's what I've been looking for. That I feel like I'm like right there, and I feel like it's almost going to get me to where I've been looking to be. 50 milligram CBD capsule, or THC capsule, sorry. 50 milligrams THC capsule, boom, you hit them right where they wanted it. Oh my gosh, this is good. I feel good. My pain is gone. I feel like I can do things. But then I have this whole theory about pain. Pain is our restrictor. You take away somebody's pain, they hurt themselves more. THC will slow them down from hurting themselves. It'll slow them down from doing things. Okay, you give them CBD, their pain's gone, and you're working with somebody that just had leg surgery or knee surgery. You take away their pain, that dude tries to go outside and play soccer because he's like, I don't feel nothing, I'm great.
Yeah.
I'll take some more CBD tomorrow. And then they tear more problems in their surgery. So the THC mellows them down, settles them down. And what's the ultimate cure of all illness? It's rest.
Rest.
Yes, rest and relaxation.
That's what I think cured him, because he wasn't able to rest.
Yeah,
His
low.
body was unease.
Yep.
You know?
And that's what medications do to you, man. All the people that take medications, I call it the hospital fuckery. They keep you in it. Every 2 weeks, you got to come see the doctor. Your prescription bottle says every 4 to 6 hours, whether you need it or not. Yep. And my son just broke his freaking hand in football practice, or sprained it. We took him to the doctors, and they're like, well, we're going to give you ibuprofen. And he's like, yeah. He's like, no, I don't want that. He's 17 years old. And the doctor says, you sure you don't want ibuprofen? I can give you Tylenol codeine also. And he's like, no, I don't need any of that stuff. I can deal with it. And before, she asked him literally 5 times. The fourth time I told him he doesn't take medications. He's okay. We're fine. We walked out the door. She sounds like a
drug pusher.
Dude, we walked out the door, and she asked us one more time, are you sure you don't want us to prescribe you anything for pain? I said, no, we don't need anything like that.
Big farm agenda.
And it's the problem, because that's the standard now.
Yes, it is.
Who's got a pill? Yeah, who's got a pill to fix me?
Fix me.
Yeah, give me a pill. You know, you broke yourself. You have to fix yourself. You have to eat right. You have to exercise. You have to get out and find inspiration in the outside, not get lost and tormented on the inside. And so that's what THC does. That's what cannabis does. And that's what I believe CBD is, keeping people stuck in that world that I'm sick, I'm dying, I'm taking this product that's supposed to be curing me. My pain is somewhat gone. I feel a little weird because this stuff is a little different. Because I've smoked a joint before, but it doesn't feel like the joint because you're using CBD isolate, so of course it's just one molecule. We're making pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals are one molecule. If you make a prescription with one molecule, there's only a select few people in the world that will get sick in population. So if they make a prescription with one molecule and they give it to 20,000 people, 5,000 people have a problem with it, they make a prescription for those 5,000 people with another molecule. Single molecule means it's easy. It's only one.
Counteract the first one they gave them.
Exactly. So that's why cannabis is kind of hard for them to make as a medication, because there's thousands of compounds that make cannabis, that make THC, that make CBD, and they're isolating it, and they're just taking CBD. They're just taking THC. And I'm not personally. I do clinical stuff. I walk into hospitals. I walk into deathbed rooms. I'm not at a bar. I'm not a bud tender at a shop where people walk in and drive in and take the bus because they're okay to get there. I walk into places where this dude's got a feeding tube in his gut. I have pictures of this online. I've been doing this for over 20 years. And those people are not being cured by these products of people buying isolate, going to Sam's Club, buying a gallon of Jergens lotions and infusing it, and having a printer in their house and printing a new label and pushing it on healing you, because they've watched me and numerous other countless people that believe in full plant medicines and pushing it out there and making it. And like you said earlier today, Shay, that the company is throwing money away to have a standard.
That's right.
That's
TerpHouse.
standard. Yeah, that's it. You have to have that standard. I will take this. I do take this. I give this to my kids. 20-year-old son hurts himself. He needs something. I got it. My grandparents, 80-year-old grandparents, take my products. I believe in this. I will stand behind it. Not that I'm the best for shit. No way. I try my best. I believe in what's correct. I know what's wrong. I've been doing this, been growing since '98. I have some very successfully shitty grows.
yes, as we all have.
I gave it away. I smoked it. My friends back in the day enjoyed it, and they looked at me and they said, "This is the best shit I ever smoked." And I told them, "You're full of shit. I can't believe I grew this."
I've killed more plants than I've ever successfully pulled off. I can tell you that.
So in that, I can accept that there's a learning curve. There's a learning crash. But when you have the proper guidance out there, today we have that proper guidance. 10 years ago when we were making Rick Simpson oil, we only knew to use isopropyl alcohol. We only knew how to use naphtha. We didn't know that there was 200 proof ethanol that was completely used in lavender essential oils and everyday food things that we do. And that when you can actually take all the ethanol out.
I'll tell you what, when I learned how to use that, I learned how from my dad. He's an old hash smuggler. I've told the stories a few on the show. And he taught me how. He learned over in Nepal, and then he came back over here, and he's the one that really taught me how. And to really use the cannabis as a whole, the cannabis plant, as a whole, and that you can extract the oils and everything, and making that, which when I learned how, it wasn't ever Rick Simpson oil, it was hash oil. That's what I was brought up. It's hash oil is hash oil, and that's it. And you know, I just think that it's a great thing for people to get educated in these products. And I thank you very much for coming here and giving all of this information to everyone. And everyone, please rewatch this. You were just throwing a lot of information. I know that.
Schooled.
Yeah, completely schooled. Like, those were bombs dropping. I just sat here and got schooled. There was a couple of times where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I was blown away. So I thank you very much. But my point behind everything is that when I learned how to do this back in the day, like I said, it was just hash oil. And it was made to help people. And my father always told me, it's what you put into the product is what you get out of it. And so he always did. We always were driving to Arizona, to be quite honest with you, to go get that alcohol, because they can sell it there. They don't sell it here in California. Yep. And to bring it back here to California, I shouldn't be saying that, I guess, but statute of limitations.
Oh, you're good now. You can buy alcohol now. It's all good.
Bootlegger.
Whatever, right?
But we are in Phoenix, you know that, so we're good.
Yeah, that's right. We can be wherever we want to be. We're on fucking Kaotic radio.
We're fucking Saturn.
But, you know, he always told me, man, you got to put in the good stuff, you get out the good stuff.
Yep.
I've had many conversations with you about oil. I'm going to bring this up real quick. The first time I ever met Eddie, I pissed him off. I don't think he's trying to remember I sit here, but I was asking questions to one of his buddies about how the products were made, how the oil was made. Yeah, he now remembers. Don't
ask me about my fucking recipe.
Yeah, exactly. I was asking about the fucking
this
recipe.
This is the KFC fucking secret mix, bro. What do you want to know? Why do you want to know this shit?
He was like, nah, man, I ain't telling you nothing. I ain't telling you nothing, man. I ain't telling you, nah, man. And he got mad, and I actually had to go to another one of our homies, Kevin from Hitman, and say, hey, man.
Yeah, that was a Chalice.
I forget which fest. I don't know, man.
It was Chalice.
I've seen you at so many, I fucking have literally forgotten which one it was. But I remember the thing and going up to Kevin and being like, hey, bro, you got to introduce me to Eddie, because I just fucking pissed him off. And I really, really don't want this dude particular to be pissed off at me. So Kevin, thank you very much. Shout out to you, and help him smooth over. Yeah, smooth this.
That's over. Right. Chap said that you used to play baseball with him, or no, that was somebody else.
Yeah,
did you play baseball with him?
No, I
didn't. That was another guy.
No, I met Chaps through the glass game when I used to work for Sovereignty Glass.
Okay, no. I met a guy that I did the same tipper kind of thing. And then I ended up finding out the dude was like, I want to play baseball with Chaps, and he's like, bro, I ain't trying to trip, and I was like, I've been pushed over the edge quite a bit over the years.
I'll admit I approached that situation wrong. I just came in and I was like, hey, what's up? And I started asking questions, and I should introduce myself.
You were smart. That's why you got that from me. You had questions that made sense. Yes, your questions that made sense were the questions that people asked me to try to replicate the company.
Yep.
Instead of being themselves and earning it. I didn't take this from anybody. I'm not Rick Simpson. I don't make Rick Simpson's oil. I actually use a completely different tech.
Yes.
And so when you started questioning me about the techs that you knew were the techs from earlier, it was like, wait a minute, he wants to know how we've changed that.
Yeah.
You were smart on that.
I learned the old school ways. You know what I mean? My dad was, old school. Like I said, I've been around. I may only be 32 years old, but I've been in this game since I was 14 years old. And I learned from my father, like I said, and he was in it since he was 14 years old. He's now in his 60s.
Nice.
So I've learned some shit in my lifetime. I've been around, been to Amsterdam. I've actually, taken a class from Ed and had a conversation with him. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But man, the first time I did piss you off, and I do apologize. I'm so sorry for that.
No, I'm sorry too. I gotta watch my head, you guys. I've done some shit with my shaman, and it's helped me pretty much a lot with my whole pressures. I kind of grew up in the ghettos of California, a little rough, and
same here.
The cops weren't really my friends. They picked me up and took me to another neighborhood and tried to get me whacked. So it's like I always had that I didn't have anybody really looking out for me except for me. So when I get caught into scenarios that I kind of feel like I'm put into a corner, I'm just like a dog and I bark. So, and I didn't mean to do that at a personal level. I've done that to a lot of people. I apologize to you people personally, but just like you see here, we get along great. We've got, if you can get over me being, subjective about what I do to teaching it to people that I don't know, and we can get along great, because once I get to know you, the tech is all there. I'll bring you into the laboratory. I'll show you how it is. But when you meet people face to face, especially in this industry, it's kind of hard with social media, always being out there. People think they know you, and they think they understand, and I need to get myself into that position to mellow out, man.
You got to protect your brand. You know what I mean? That's fully understandable. I mean, look what happened to Rick Simpson. They took his shit, ran with it, fucked it up. You know what I mean? And he had to clear it all up. So
he had to make a statement, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that statement's out there.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's you can actually think you still go to Phoenix Tears and you just type up Rick Simpson's statement. I think it comes on Google, and he has him standing behind a white wall, and he's like, he's pissed. He's got a Fu Manchu, and he sounds like me that one time. You know, like quit fucking up my name, quit fucking up my product. I don't stand behind nothing.
But you know, you reacted honestly the same way I would have. You know what I mean? So
break time.
That's what's up. Yeah, break time. We're gonna have our little break time here.
Who's taking a suppository? You need a suppository.
I'm ready. I got hemorrhoids.
Let's go, buddy. Break time.
We'll be right back here on Kaotic Radio. Stay with us.
I ain't ready.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to the Cannabis Couch on Kaotic Radio. We are sitting here with the man, the myth, and the legend in the game, the maker of NHO, Native Healing Oils, Mr. Eddie Funkstra himself. And we have been all getting schooled in here. I know right now when we're talking on the break, like, I can't even comprehend what the fuck was just told to me, to be quite honest with you. Holy shit. I'm going to have to go home and rewatch this episode. I'm not even fucking with you. I'm going to go home and rewatch it. Like, what the fuck just was told to me in this episode? Because there was so much information just thrown at me. I know, Danny, you were taken back too, right?
Yeah, I mean, you dropped a lot of knowledge, stuff that I'm not really up on in the healing oils and whatnot. I mean, I partake in, heavy THC smoke, for years and years, but like the suppository stuff, like I've read about that, but you dropped some numbers on me that I had no idea about, and just all of this stuff. I mean, you're so well versed. It was fucking a pleasure to listen to you.
Thank you, man. It definitely didn't come first nature. There was a lot of people call it learning curves. I call it learning crashes, because many hit the wall sometimes. I mean, it's a lot of this stuff came out of pure shit. What are we doing? How is this going to happen? How do we get to the next step? What is the next step? Where is the next step? And
pushing the envelope.
Yeah, we didn't even know we were doing that. We just know that there was a major piece missing in a lot of the healing factors. All right, so the reason why I got in handcuffs where I talk about that is because I had a cancer patient. Numerous cancer patients I was helping at a hospital. They're in the critical care unit. I had to go up there. I didn't have to. I chose to go up there and bring the tinctures and start giving it to them, because the hospital stopped letting them smoke weed outside.
Right.
They used to let the cancer patients go outside and smoke weed, but they wouldn't let them do it anymore. So I went in there and started going in there. Well, one of the nurses found out that I was the weed man. At the time, I had dreadlocks down in the middle of my freaking back. I mean, I was touring with Slightly Stupid and Albarazi and Marlon Asher. I'm touring with my good friends, heavy ganja culture.
Right.
So I walk in there. I'm pretty sure I smell like OG because I smoked a fucking joint or hit the bong before I went.
Yeah.
So I know I smell rough. I was also growing OG, so my whole house stunk like fucking herb. So
everything.
I know I permeated of ganja. But when I walked in one day, I get out of the elevator on the 4th floor, which is the critical care unit, and you have to have a password to get in because this person is passing away, and you have to be you got to clear it.
Right.
So I open it. Here comes the doors open up, and there's 2 security guards from the hospital and a cop. And they grab me and they pull me out and they say my name, and I say yes, it's me. And they grab me and the cop puts me in cuffs, and the security guards start telling the officer that I was the guy bringing weed, which was easy to point me out. So the cop was like, "Where's the weed at?" And they're waiting for me to have pounds of weed. They thought I was bringing in an ounce of weed. They thought I had joints. They started to search me, and they find the bottles of tincture, and they pull them out, and then they're like, he doesn't have any weed on him. And I could have walked away right there and punked him and act like I haven't got to give me my shit back. I'm out. But I didn't. I stood there and I felt like it was time to teach these officers what I was doing. So I just came up and I told them, I said, "Look at you guys, that's weed right there." And the cop stopped and he said, What are you talking about? I said, those 2 bottles right there, that has cannabis in it. It's like, under 20% THC in that whole thing, that's less than a joint. They can drink the whole bottle and be fine. And he was like, wait, drink the whole bottle. What are you talking about? I said, I'm not bringing joints in here. I don't have a bong. I said, dude, there's oxygen here. I'll blow up. And the cop said, turn around. And he took the cuffs off me. And the security guards looked at the cop. And he goes, I'm not arresting this guy.
That's what happens when you make sense.
Exactly. The cop said, well, I don't know what you're doing here. Or you're not bringing marijuana in here, right? I said, no, I don't have any flowers. If you're looking for flowers, I don't have that on me. I'm going to go in there right now. I'm going to put a drop under this gentleman's tongue. And when he gets an appetite to eat, I'm going to leave. And that's what I've been doing for a long time, sir. And he said, I'm not going to mess with you. And security guards let me go. Pissed. They thought I was bringing in the herb. So, just trying to push. I was trying to push the effort of me not getting in trouble to help my friends in there.
Right.
Because my friends were in there, personal friends. And they needed help. They needed my help. And there was nobody else going to go in there and do it. My wife was at home raising our kids. She didn't need to walk in there. The son of the guy that asked me to do this couldn't do it himself. It was his father. He just couldn't see himself doing it. I mean, I taught his dad how to grow weed. His dad's like, he's 70-something years old. He's growing weed in a senior community. He's the cool guy on the block. He was a really cool dude. So I had to make sense of what I was there to I had to do my job. I was there for a reason. And so that's where I always explain to people what's really how this medicine can be treated as medicine and how you can be more respectful about it, because it's all we want is we respect what we do. We go to work, we have a job, we raise our families, we go home and we smoke a joint. We're not out there on the streets causing a ruckus. We're not panhandling. We're not out there bugging people. We're actually living. That's the reason why they went after us in law enforcement, because they knew that we would want to keep our name clean, because we're potheads. We're productive people of society, and we need to relax. You know, just like alcohol does. I've learned to respect alcohol and its relaxing factor. For many years, I was very much against it. I was an advocate against alcohol. I was part of the whole Colorado running with it, you know, safer, and cannabis is safer than alcohol. It is. But I do believe that it's adults. It's up to us. Yeah, it's up to us. If you want to take fucking alcohol and drink it, go ahead. You want to take LSD? Go ahead. You want to take mushroom? Go ahead.
I want all of that,
exactly.
actually.
That's why it made so much sense in the Netherlands for so many years, because they didn't give a shit. They're like, yo, if you're not hurting nobody, do it, and do it with respect.
Yeah, exactly.
When you start hurting people around you and hurting your family, we need to intervene, and you need to get some treatment. But, you know, if you're going to work and busting your ass, and then you come home and you're like, shit, I'm a psychiatrist and I deal with a bunch of nutcases all day. I'm turning into one. I need to drop some acid, clear my head.
See, you brought something up there. You said the Netherlands, and that brings up a very good point, because everybody wants to tell me how legal it is in Amsterdam and everything like that, but it's not really legal. They just have a way better system of putting up with it than we do. And I know this for a fact, that you still get in trouble in Amsterdam if you have too much cannabis, if you have it in the wrong places. If you're trying to bring it into the country, you're definitely not allowed to do that.
Yep, or leave with it.
Exactly. Like my dad got busted in the airport, you know, with 16 and a half fucking kilos, you know, and so and they extradited him for 10 years. They told him he couldn't come back.
Yep.
You know, but they extradited him immediately. They literally just kicked him out of the country, put him on a plane, and said, "Don't fucking come back."
Yep.
And he didn't leave I don't think he's ever left the U.S. since, except to go to Mexico a few times, you know, for some dental work. That's about it. You know, but yeah, like they just have this awesome system of dealing with it. They help you go through whatever you're going through. If you are on heroin and you kind of realize that you're never going to really be off of it, they kind of just help you along with it. They want you to be a productive member of society, no matter what your let's put it, crutch is. Because I'll admit, you know, I use cannabis as a crutch sometimes, very many times, and I'm sure a lot of people do. Now with being 64, a lot of people are going to be able to.
Yep.
And I think that's a good thing, because I think it's one of the better crutches out there. It's better than prescription drugs. I do think it's better than alcohol. I think it's better than, you know, I think smoking pot's better than doing a bunch of acid all the time, because that'd probably really fuck with your mental well-being.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I just bring that up all the time.
Yeah, but to hit that point, I think acid very much has its place. I think LSD very much has its place.
Sure does.
You know, sometimes you need that awakening. Earlier today, before the show started, we were talking about DMT.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the best ones, to be quite honest with you, out of everything that I've done. Because
you mean dabbing many terps?
Yeah.
Or dabbing many terps?
Dabbing many terps.
He had DMT on him. He had mad terps.
Yeah, didn't he though? Shout out Loud Packs J. Fuck, I am fucking stoned right now.
Big him up.
That banana pie.
Yeah, that banana pie.
That
Shout
was
out
very
Loud Packs,
delicious,
man.
by the way.
Right by the beach, hey.
Hey, fuck, I am fucking high. I'm losing my train of thought halfway between my fucking thoughts right now. But hey, fucking hey, thank you.
You were on DMT, Shay.
DMT, there we go. So
people need it.
People do need it.
We are DMT.
You know, but I think we need to use it in a responsible way. You know what I mean?
Oh, everything is.
Yeah, because
maintain.
If we sit there and we're really just getting out of control with it, then I think, you know, that's what gives a bad name.
No, these things are all tools in the toolbox, like I was explaining earlier. Exactly. You don't always use that high-powered impact wrench on everything. You only use that on heavy, intense shit you're really working on. That's when you bring out these tools. You know, the other tools of every day, like you use a screwdriver all day, that's like cannabis. Cannabis is one of those things that's like always. We have cannabinoid receptors entirely through our entire body. There's more in our gut than anywhere else, though. You know, like there's a lot in the brain, there's a lot in the neck, a lot in the nervous system, but the gut, your digestive tract, has more receptors than anywhere else. So That's why when it works so good on nausea. That's why when cancer patients are going through chemo and radiation and having these bad situations, I can't eat. I don't want to eat. How the hell are you going to give them an edible? How are you going to give them a brownie? They don't want to eat sugar. They can't eat sugar. They're not supposed to eat sugar. They're not supposed to eat preservatives. So how are you really helping people like this? Now, I understand in a recreational market now, if I wake up and want to have, a medicated cinnamon roll, that's cool. I'm down.
Yeah.
Is it medicated? Is it medicated or is it tainted? Because medically, that's not really medically valuable for any level.
No.
Just because you put THC in it doesn't make it medical.
Right.
It's damn effective.
It fucking is, and I do it a lot. So it's, what I mean? So that's just, but when it comes to like, hey, I need to do this interview, I need to do these jobs, I need to go travel, I need to get on a plane, you can't smell like herb, it's not socially acceptable. It's not socially respected. It's looked down upon. It's actually looked like we're still the hippie culture because we have changed. We have vape pens. We have these things not to smell like herb.
Shout out TerpHouse.
And you have these oils. We have our capsules. We have the suppositories. We have other options that you get to use for you not to smell like cannabis, be on cannabis, and control your situation because you need cannabis.
Right.
So you can't eat a 100 milligram brownie and go to work, but you can take a 20 milligram capsule. And how many people take their 15-minute break, run outside, and take one hit? Like one hit, that's it, just one.
We just did.
Yeah, literally. But that shit fucked us up. That was different. That was a good rip. But you know what I mean? Like some people don't smoke that big of a hit on their break because they're afraid they're gonna be too fucked up at work. So why don't we just take a little drag? And that little drag really didn't do shit. That's a microdose.
Yeah. Right.
That's what my products are. The Canna caps are a microdose. I had a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, like a best friend of mine, that's been like taking my herb products since I was sucking at growing. And he was like, I'm ready to try your shit. Let's do this. And I was like, all right. So I gave him some stuff. And he went back and he's all, I took all 4 capsules and I took fucking the whole syringe. I didn't feel shit. I said, man, you're fine then. There's not a damn thing wrong with you. Like you don't need this shit. What are you looking for? You know what I mean? And then I offered the suppository. I got another option for you. He's like, no.
Option 2.
Exactly. No. He wasn't feeling that.
He'll feel something.
Exactly. Yeah. Option 2, baby. Let's bring it. No, he wasn't feeling that. But that's where it came in. Like, what are you looking for, man? Like, what are you trying to get high on? He's like, I need a bong rip. Like, then take a bong rip.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a different. Are you gonna give that to? Go give that to your girl. Give that to your wife. Go give that to your sister. Give it to somebody that doesn't use cannabis all day and watch how it works. And he did. And he was like, dude, she was fucked up. She was on the couch.
Not good.
She was like, whoa, bro. And I was like, that was 20 milligrams. He's like, man, I took 6 of those and I didn't feel shit. And I was like, you see what I'm saying? There's levels to this.
That would be me. I would take 6 and probably not feel shit.
I take 6 and don't feel a damn thing. But I go to sleep and I sleep like a baby.
Fuck yeah, that's what I need.
So that's where it's a new way. I've helped a lot of people get off of all their insomnia medication. Because it wasn't putting them to sleep. They're still waking up groggy, but now they're medicated and they felt in this weird chemical world. Like, we're able to change that perspective, get people off of opiates they take to go to bed. My one friend only took his Vicodin or his Nocor just to go to sleep. That's gone now. Now he's got a whole thing. He's like, should I sell these? I said, no, flush that shit down the toilet. I said, just flush them.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, that's what they want you to do. They want you to make another addict, to push their product. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because that's only killing us. It's killing livers. It's killing kidneys. It's killing households. I just helped a guy get off of methadone because his wife was going to leave him. And if he couldn't find another option, she was going to pack his kids up and leave and never come back because he was stuck on opiates and methadone.
Those are just horrible things. They're seen as the safer one of those things. Well, I just look at it as the lesser of 2 evils, and that's never a good thing.
For sure.
We
hit him with some NHO, and he's been cleaned up.
Yeah,
And I had another gentleman that tried to take this to get off of other problems, ailments, and he's seeking other plants like kratom and other things. And I explained to him that when you take the NHO, you need to take like a week off of your normal schedule. Please, like if you're trying to get off of addictive drugs, like I got my friend's 19-year-old son off of slamming heroin with this. And so it was important to me to keep pushing this like this and to show that it really means, and explain to him, this is how you do it. You dose the shit out of your kid. You give him 500 to 1,000 milligrams and you put him down for 3 days to where he doesn't feel like he gets the urge to go get the fix. And then when he wakes up just to go to the bathroom or just to eat or drink, keep him hydrated. Wake him up and, give the kid keep him hydrated, man.
A healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. Flush him out and then get him out of the mix for a week. His dealer won't see him for a week, so he'll get washed off. change his phone number, get him. If you can't move him from where he's at, you need it. The addictive nature is going to be there when he wakes up and he sees the same thing. So you need to change it for a week.
Yes.
And so when it comes to how my stepdad was an addict, he used to beat the shit out of me every day because he was hooked on meth and heroin. So I know what it's like.
Positive vibes, man.
Exactly. I know what it's like living in that world and being that trapped kid and having no answers.
Yep.
So it's like, hey, come in there and do this for them and serve them. Give them hard, lay them down, let them shit it all out of them because their gut holds on to all these crazy intoxicants and drugs that they're on. So it's been impactful for me to keep doing this. I worked at methadone clinics in Washington, helping people get off of methadone and heroin and opiates and Norcos and Vicodins and Percocets and barbiturates, and I hate those fucking things, bro.
A lot of heroin in fucking Seattle, man.
Yeah, you know what happens up there is they do it like this. You're paying $40 a milligram for Oxycontin, but you're getting freaking a nice friggin' eighth of heroin for $5 damn near. Right. So for $5 from $40 for a 40, hey, and yeah, it's a terrible thing in Seattle. I lived in Washington for 2 years. I'm from East LA. I grew up in a neighborhood called Little Africa in San Bernardino. I've had my car broken into 2 times in my whole life, and that was living in Olympia, Washington.
Goddamn.
Damn.
And they were so nice, dog, that they took everything out of my wallet, but they seen I was from California, so they left my wallet and my ID there. They just took my money and my credit cards.
Well, I mean,
that was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty nice. Yep. Down here, they would have took my wallet.
Everything would have been gone.
They'd have been like, "Oh, he's from Washington. Oh, let me take his stereo. Let me take his
Where's his weed?
Yeah, exactly. Let's take his shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Wow, these guys are pretty courteous out here."
Yeah,
he would have came back to his shell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man.
So it's a bad epidemic out there, and it's happening to families where kids are stealing their parents' prescriptions, or they're buying things, or people are driving cars through pharmacies to steal the OxyContin.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
they are.
Shit's real. You know what I mean?
They need real medicine, man.
I hope the people out there can really hear. I'm looking at him so I can see the love that he is coming with in his statements, and I hope everybody can just hear the love that he's coming with, because this is coming from his heart. He really feels truly about this and about this cause that he has, and trying to really, really cure people and help people with his medicine.
Yeah, I can talk all day, but we had some comments, right?
Yeah, we just had a few shout outs here. I got to shout out my buddy Edward Quinones. He's tuning in right now. He's checking us out. Thank you, Edward. I know you're going through some shit in life, and thank you for checking us out. And Danny Boom, bro, who's your homie right here?
Oh, I got my man Rux watching. I got my boy Rob Nakatani watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This man's dropping knowledge. Hope you soaked it all up.
Yeah, dude. Shout out DJ Ruxpin, you fucking savage. That's what you always say.
Shout out TerpHouse.
Shout out TerpHouse. Always, man. TerpHouse is the reason we are on the air. I thank those guys very much. We were making the comments earlier that they lose money every single day to perform, a good service for the people. And like I said, the reason I get to sit here and say fuck, shit, fuck on the air.
That's pretty cool.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
That's what I told him earlier. They have a seat on the couch. He was like, you can just talk freely here. This is, internet radio. You can be good. And I was like, oh man, as I do this KNBC talk radio show, and I gotta watch it. They have me on delay. Trust me, I'm always slipping and falling.
Give us a good fuck then. Will you please give us a good fuck?
A good fuck. This motherfuckers, man. This shit is bullshit. Damn, that felt so good.
Beautiful.
Because I used to be on the radio in Hollywood in 99.3 KCLA FM. This was like in 99, 2000, and the FCC was on my ass. Yeah. I said shit one time, and they had me in the office, and I'd rather get my ass beat by my stepdad again than go through the FCC lashing.
Yeah.
On how many zeros were on that fine was like.
Fine,
I was like, where do I get that kind of money? I'm from the hood, man. Like, I only got a 3-lighter right now. Like, how can I can't fucking do that. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
The woman you hear is my wife. This is Gigi's right here.
Hello.
So I brought her by. She had to come here and see things. So let's talk. He asked me to come on the show the other day because we were at the opening of the Hitman Coffee Shop. I want to talk about something fun real quick and a couple things. Because we get the Hitman Coffee Shop, and one of the other things that we do is the Dabarindo apples with my good friends, the Kushites, and it says it's powered by Funks the West Coast, which they use our NHO, and those things are literally that's crack on a stick, and it's
we will be enjoying this.
We're cracking that.
So
do you have a knife in the house that we can cut that thing up? Because we would cut that thing up, and that is like literally one of the best things to eat.
Oh, we will. We'll find a knife here. Maybe next break we'll.
It's totally medicinal.
We're gonna do right there. Totally medicinal.
It's got an apple in it, so an apple a day
keeps the
doctor away. So you gotta keep it solid. And then I brought some Hitman cold brew. This is the cold brew concentrate. I brought that for the station to wake everybody up. So take care, brother. Hope that your drive is nice after you took that suppository.
Oh, it works.
Right on.
Oh, that's Frank B.
Dougie's really into that cold brew, huh?
Oh my gosh, yeah,
Heavy.
he's a cold brew fanatic, man. He loves the cold brews.
Shout out, Dougie. We are gonna get you on this show, Dougie.
Yeah, we're gonna work
whether or not we got to go to the coffee shop and do a video interview.
That'd be cool.
Or I get your ass here, which I really fucking want, is you here, right here in front of me, talking shit like we do.
Yeah, exactly. And then I got some Loyal tea.
Oh yes.
Some of the Hitman tea. This is the Loyal. The Loyal tea.
This is what I've been looking
There's
forward
a
to.
Royal
Right
tea.
here.
There's a couple of great ones over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to trying some of this Hitman tea. This is amazing right here, man. Thank you, Eddie. This is
Yeah. So it's like we're just trying to have a good space to smoke cannabis and enjoy yourself. It's like Amsterdam without going to Amsterdam, and we don't sell any cannabis there. There's no cannabis products being sold there. So, I mean, after Prop 64, anybody over the age of 21 can have cannabis, can consume cannabis. So we have like a social lounge. You can get a membership, which you need to have a membership because there's thousands of dollars of art on display. At any given time, we have select artists bring pieces in, and we want to know who's in our house.
Yes.
We want to know. We don't want to lock our shit up. We want you to come feel at home, sit on a couch, look at a nice piece of art, whether it's glass, whether it's a painting, whether it's a plant. I mean, Doug's been amazing, and he has my visionary cacti and plant. I'm an ethnobotanist, kind of, sort of. And so he's let me display some extraordinary pieces from Peru and from some extraordinary cactus pieces from, really, really artistic pieces of plants that I've been able to put in there. But he's done that with everybody that has a passion for the arts. Like, he has amazing art pieces in there. He has, glass pieces from glass blowers from all over the country. And
amazing glass art.
You can
amazing.
Yeah, the compound collection's on display. Some of our Hitman glass stuff is on display. We've definitely have all of the Chalice apparel that's there that you can purchase. The Happy Place apparel. I mean, Doug's been on a move. I've been running with Doug for years. I just wrote the article Road to Chalice because at the beginning Chalice was just it was a pipe dream, man. It was him wanting to make our Rasta pipes, giving love to Chalice, the Rasta culture, and then he wanted to. His good friend was our designer JP. He's like into clothing, and we're like, well, Chalice is gonna be a clothing line, and Doug's like, already got Hitman glass blowing up at the time. We have torch tubes by amazing collaborations, and so
I gotta pick one of those up, man. That's some badass shit.
Those are sick.
Yeah, those are fun. So all this stuff was happening, so Chalice kind of just got put on the back burner, and then I did a show in Denver for a few years, and then we're like, hey, let's bring this home. We need this in SoCal on 710. So Chalice, the name Chalice was born for sure. We had Les Claypool. Last year, or the second year, we had Busta Rhymes and Action Bronson, people on the stairs. Alex Gray and Allison Gray came and talked, and the visionary artist that paint all those amazing psychedelic paintings and shit.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He was up there giving a lecture about the shaman research that he's done and the cultures that have led him in South America, and so it's really a great to hear Alex Gray speak. It was amazing. So, and then last year we had Wu-Tang Clan and Machine Gun Kelly.
Dude, that was badass. Watching Machine Gun Kelly climb up that motherfucker was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, really cool. to be honest with you, I'm a different part of era. I'm like a techno head kind of. I like jazz and down tempo trippy shit, and so I didn't know who he was, but he was really cool. He was really energetic and a really fun vibe to hang around with and kick it with. And then when he went on stage, man, his essence, he brought it to the stage.
Yeah,
that was a great
stage show,
and that blew my mind away because I didn't know. And that's what Chalice has always been about, bringing this different culture to the people to say, hey, check out this musician, check out these artists. We got we got CBS, the biggest number one graffiti artist in the crew in the world, and these dudes can't be stopped. At our shows, they call themselves the Chalice Bomb Squad, so CBS is just running our running rampant, just dropping art. You got mirror painting, you got like oil painting, not graph painting that you see mirrors pieces all the time. No, this is mirror being compassionately one-on-one with a piece of canvas and a paintbrush. Like, wow, this is intense. And he's right there painting, and we have people painting the Chalice letters that we set up, and we have glass blowers on display. We have the glass blower village where you get to watch like glass blowers from all over the world making pieces that you only see on social media sometimes, and they're there intimate with the the collectors get to actually buy this piece and be like, hey, I have this Steve Bates rig I got from Steve Bates at Chalice. I got this Bluegrassman lava lamp from Bluegrassman. You know what I mean? And D-Rec, I got to meet D-Rec because he was running the whole thing.
And he's a fucking cool motherfucker. I gotta say that, man. I
my boy.
Every time I see D-Rec, he's always got a big smile on his face. Shout out, he is doing some awesome shit in his own life right now, personally, and I'm very proud of him in that. You know, I don't know what that means to him, but shit, I'm proud of him because that's the struggle that he's going through, and that's amazing what he's doing.
Yeah, working on the eye is always a hard one.
Yes, it is.
Good vibes, positive vibes.
That's right. Good vibes and positive vibes. Sorry, I'm a little fucked up. Damn, I really got fucked up off that.
That's a good hit.
I'm not even fucking around, man.
This was the rig.
Yeah, it was the rig,
man.
It is super combination, man.
It all works well. Take a hit, man. You just did.
It was.
Good cash, good rig.
Yeah, exactly. Let's change pace a little bit. I have some topics that I would like to go over and just tap on a little bit here in the show.
Nice.
And we hit up a little bit before the show about this. And you had some awesome things to say again, so I'm just going to let you run with this one. What's going on with the price of cannabis now that we're going to have 64? You know, we have Oregon with $25 eighths. How good is it really? You know what I mean? Is it actually good weed or, you know, whatever? But I want to know your opinion on the whole subject.
Oregon, I love Oregon. A lot of love for Oregon. Nothing but love there. My boy Braveheart just kills it in Oregon.
Shout out.
That's my guy. Yeah, I love that dude. There's a lot of people in Oregon that I actually know. Sorry to leave a lot of people out, but damn, that's, you know.
Shout out to the whole Oregon fam.
We got Hitman Farms is in Oregon too. So I mean, there's a lot of friends. There's a lot of people in Oregon. Oregon's got a lot of love. I wasn't really in part of the Oregon deal of that. In Washington, I was in Washington when I left California in 2014. I was going up there because I was working with some people with trying to advance cannabis in the state and like being pretty much what we do, working with Hitman and working with DNA Genetics and all these other companies that I work with that are personal friends. I don't really work with them. They're just my good friends. So let's bring them up there and let's do this. But I started noticing that the price of the weed when legalization hit, that it was, you know, we went from $10 no tax to the patient on the bud tending scale right at the door. You know, every that was pretty much the standard across the state. It's pretty much most of the standard now for cannabis. $10 a gram.
Same here, yeah.
You know, so for good quality indoor stuff, possibly light dip greenhouse that almost looks indoor, it's still a good price. $10 a gram. If it works, it's well.
That is, unless you're Danny Boom.
Yeah,
we gotta say that.
Yeah, he's got the right shit. So
2-minute break coming up here pretty quick.
All right, cool. So in Washington, I started noticing that when legalization came, the price was more about how much the retail can push it because of the sales tax. There's such a large excise tax of 37 to like 40 something percent. I don't even know what they just changed it to because I left and I don't even care because it sucks. But I watched the medical patients just get shafted, get stuck just because of profits. And they got all the way down to where packaged as a farmer, I have to sell my packaged grams for $4. I mean, package right now, $4 a gram is in a
you're going broke.
It's a turkey bag, you know. You get that's packaging, but now when you got to get it individually packaged, and you're up to $1.49 a package, and you know the harvest took you to $1.79 to $2 a gram to produce. You know, you're at $3.79, and that's not even the transport to sell it to this guy. That's not to even advertise it.
So your cost is over $4 a gram.
Exactly, but these shops only. You want your shit in my shop? I'm only going to pay you $4 a gram. That's what happens with legalization.
That's gnarly.
That's
talk more about it.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it when we get back from break. We also got a couple other things to bring up with Texas going recreational, and also the idiots that don't want to shut the fuck up at traffic stops. We'll be right back on the Cannabis Couch.
A lot of mercy.
right, and we're back here on the Cannabis Couch, live on Kaotic Radio, brought to you by the TerpHouse. I'm here with my co-host Danny Boom.
Yay.
And Mr. Eddie Funkstra and his lovely bride.
Thank you.
So when we left, we were discussing the price of cannabis and where it's going here in California with Prop 64 going through. While I'm saying that, I'd also like to mention that we're going to start doing a Prop 64 segment here on the show so people can really start to understand this law that passed in California, because there is a lot of misinformation out there, and I want to get the correct information out there as much as possible. And we will be doing research into the laws. If we have to, I will call lawyers. I will do what I have to get to the bottom of things to figure out what is going on with this law, and so everybody can pretty much understand it. I am currently reading it, and let me tell you what, I think everybody needs to, because there is a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of double talk. I've only been 5 pages deep, and I've already seen about 3 or 4 statements that give double talk of, well, you can do this, but then you have to also pay attention over here. And so it takes a lot of it's like a maze, and takes a lot of examining to get through, and it does need to be done with a fine-tooth comb by the cannabis community, so they know what's going on with
you corrected me. You corrected me on shit right there. I mean, I didn't know. It's so deep. Everybody it says they read it all and dissected it all. I even got lawyers that haven't. They're confused.
Right,
so
right.
I don't expect no disrespect to anybody's intelligence at all, but I do believe that lawyers understand how to read laws, and so if they're confused, I'm pretty sure most society will be confused, and most law enforcement will be confused.
I'm finding that's the hardest thing. That's why I've been reading this A-to-Z for a week, and I'm 5 pages deep, because I have had to go back and research and, okay, well, what does this mean? Why did they state, this statement like this?
Don't worry, page 45 contradicts page 4.
I'm sure.
You'll be going back.
I'm sure. And the thing that Eddie and I were talking about earlier was the fact that you can have 4 ounces of marijuana product on you. Now, marijuana
4 grams?
products...
4 grams?
I mean, 4 grams. I'm sorry, not 4 ounces. See? Still fucking stoned. I'm not fucking kidding.
We didn't even smoke on this break. That
I know.
was so good.
Fuck. I'm definitely taking a fucking huge ass dab when I get off, because that's gonna be fucking awesome.
Can I trade you some suppositories for some of that?
I'm good. Or my man Rux might need some of those. But
word, we'll take his money.
Ruxpin, you need some suppositories? Let us know over here on fucking YouTube. Tell us if you need some suppositories, Rux.
Gotcha.
He just fucked you up.
Just tell me what size.
Extra large.
I am a customizer.
Cool. That's my guy.
I'm an artist.
I love you, Rux, bro. I'm just fucking with you. Oh, fuck. Now I know. Lost train of thought.
No, so the law is hard to read, and 4 grams per person.
Yes. Okay, so 4 grams per person of marijuana product. Now, as I was reading in there, marijuana product is tinctures, topicals, edibles, and concentrates. There was a couple other things listed on there, but like I said, I'm stoned. So now you can go to a store and buy a topical, and it's more than likely going to be about 4 grams. We've all seen the topicals. They come in big ass bottles. It's more than likely more than 4 grams. So they're going to allow you to buy that, and then when you leave, you're breaking the law, because you're only allowed to have 4 grams of that. Or you're going to buy a topical and you're going to buy some concentrate, and then you're going to walk out.
I think there's going to be an issue because there's a milligram limit. I know when we're in Washington, one of the problems with edibles and concentrates was that there was a limit on concentrate on the level of them. So edibles were to 100 milligram packaging with 10 milligram individual pieces. So you couldn't have you couldn't even make brownies, because brownies, Rice Krispie treats, all that shit was gone. Gummy bears, it was gone. You couldn't make that shit. Yeah, no way. Yeah, you can't fucking sell that at all in Washington State. You had to be creative. You had to step outside your box and push
the envelope.
Exactly. You had to be original and bring it from the ground up. Or like some people I knew, they try to steal other people's ideas, but they just don't last when you're stealing people's ideas. Originality comes from the heart, and it's passionate.
That's right.
And so the state knew that, but then you went from companies that were making bonbons and really good edibles, 300 milligrams, 150 milligrams for medical patients. Now they had to do it at 10 milligrams. They're like, wow, that has to be 10 milligrams per serving, or I have to make, per serving has to be 10 milligrams, I guess, each serving. So I think that because 4 grams would be 4,000 milligrams of and there's not going to be any topical that's 4,000 milligrams.
Right.
So I think that part of, when it gets technical, I think of like the technicalities of things.
With that, and I love.
Does that help? That part?
That definitely helps. And
I'm trying to win an argument here.
Let's stem up. No, you got it. You got it. With that statement, let's go back to the price of cannabis.
Yes.
Now, right now, you can buy a bottle for $25 for a nice lotion, for a lotion or something, and you get a lot of it.
Yeah.
So now, with the price of that, is the price going to drop because the portions drop, or are they going to try to?
No, definitely the price will never drop, especially once the state taxes us. It's definitely always going to go up. So, inflation on products to make the process. I worked with the company that was making a product called Himoba. This is about almost 10 years ago, maybe less, maybe 7 years ago. My good friend Alex and his Memo and my friend Richard were making this extraordinarily great product called Himoba. Well, jojoba, which was part of the jojoba, however they call it, right? That berry oil that's just really good at using for massage oils and lotions and skin salves, right? Mm-hmm. The price of that shit like skyrocketed because all the crops got like damaged that year. It's fucked up. So
right. Supply and demand.
Yeah. So we went from a product that we were able to produce for $20 for a patient each one for this bottle that would stop fucking skin burns, and it was amazing shit, to where we're getting a drum for like $120 to where the drum went up to $2,000, $3,000.
Wow.
So then it was like, oh shit, the patient didn't give a shit. They didn't care. We were the dicks because we raise the price. We're like, hey, I need that no matter what. Yeah. Okay, let's spend $2,000. Let's buy a bottle. Let's get a drum. We got a drum. We made it. And we're like, the price is this now. It's $100. And they're like, where do you think I'm gonna get $100? And it turned into a problem. We had to stop production of that product. And now it's coming back. Those people have put it back together because they have secured the farms. It's been almost 10 years. But it's been, this is some of the products we've been working on for a long time, that are barely going to get themselves around. But what's the price of that?
Right.
They went through a lot of trial, errors, research, development. And now when it comes out to a product that works very well, the consumer doesn't care because the consumer cares about the price.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, in Washington, what sold was the highest THC percentage for the lowest dollar amount.
Right.
So you $8 for 25% THC Blue Dream sold. They didn't care if shit was outdoor. They didn't care if it was from Eastern Washington. They didn't care. That was the fucking price. And then they had the half-ounce bags, and they had these other companies that were just growing massive outdoor crops, and that shit was being sold for $18 a gram after sales tax.
Wow.
So it was, they were still selling it for $10, but the state came in, taxed the shit out of them. So that's where the farmer was losing, because now the shop was like, hey, I have to give 40% of this to the state. So you, the farmer, need to suck that down. And the farmer's like, what the fuck, man? The state doesn't tax the farmers. The state only taxes the processors and the retail, which I believe the processors stopped getting taxed before I left. I don't really remember. I've been gone for a little bit over a year. But I know that the main tax was given to the retail storefront, because when the first law initially passed, everybody got taxed all across the board.
Yeah.
The grower got taxed. The grower got taxed when he sold it to the processor. The processor got taxed again before he sold it to the retailer. So the state was like fucking hand and fist over money, right? Which, what have they done with it? Who fucking knows?
Right.
Who can ask and get the right answer? Nobody.
No one.
So in that, but now they're like, oh, we're going to fuck the patients. We're not going to give them a discount. We're going to screw all these people that were told that all these things were going to happen, and it hasn't. They just drag their feet because it's in their court. They get all the taxes. They're like, oh shit, we'll get to it when we want, but in the meantime, we're gonna collect $1 million a day from 500 shops across the state.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? With all these growers trying to just stay relevant in the state.
Savages.
Since we're on the state of a multi state recreational use here, I brought up something before the show that Texas has now gone fully recreational and has decriminalized under 2 ounces of marijuana or cannabis, or whatever you want to call it. Sorry, like I said, I'm fucking high.
Good.
Anyway, so Texas passed this, and I don't know if how old or young our viewers and listeners are, but Texas has always been one of those states where you never really wanted to get caught with cannabis because you were pretty much fucked. If you got caught with a joint, you were looking at some serious time, and it was a fucked up situation for a lot of people. But now all of a sudden they've passed with a 5-2 vote of for recreational cannabis, and that's kind of a game changer in my opinion because it's fucking Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas, and now apparently everything's about to be legal in fucking Texas. You can have whatever fucking gun you want. And you can fucking smoke some herb while doing it. So
they need that.
I'm gonna stand on my California mountain, and once again, I haven't seen some. Watch your phone. I haven't seen any Austin OG.
No,
haven't heard of El Paso. I mean, trust me, I got mad homies in El Paso and a lot of friends in Austin, and I got a lot of love for them. But they're always telling me, send me some seeds, give me some fucking clones, send me some weed. Like, nah, man, I don't want to get fucking buzzed. Texas sucks, bro. I don't want the Lone Ranger coming to fuck me up.
Fucked up trees.
As our exactly as our last guest on the show, Street said, it's that Cali weed.
Exactly, it's been like that all over the world. We've been like that, and so, but they're gonna grow good weed. I mean, there's good growers everywhere, so people grow good weed.
And they have a lot of land out there to do some big ass farms.
Exactly. So I think Texas will do great. I mean, in that aspect, I want to know, like, who comes out of that? Like, who's been growing for years there? That's who's gonna stand
exactly.
out. The dude that's been providing for
there's
all
be
that.
Some diamonds in the rough.
Dude, trust me, there's some gung ho motherfuckers out there that don't give a shit and been growing mad indoor for for Texas and shit. So, Texas has been getting some good indoor for years, and that shit isn't coming across the interstate getting pinched. Some of that stuff is getting grown locally.
Yes.
Those guys, I hope that those guys get to prosper and come out. I really hope that, the California growers don't try to run to another state like we all tried to go to Colorado, go to Washington, go to Oregon. And what happened? They're like, go back to fucking California, Cali boy, fuck Cali, fuck Cali. They're like, what did I get told in Washington? When you go back to Cali, you let them know it rains up here every fucking day for 12 months. In Washington, you can't do shit. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm not from a third world country as a refugee. I'm a United States fucking American born in East LA. All right? So straight up, I'm a fucking American. I should be able to go anywhere in this country and call you brother and you sister. And I should be able to be here on this fucking land. But I wasn't.
Preach.
Just because I was from SoCal. They're like, oh, I give. But you know what? I told them, please come to my area. Please come to SoCal.
Because we love you there with open arms.
We love to hear where you're from. We love to hear what you've got. We want you to experience Disneyland and the beach and the mountains and you guys got the rainforest and you guys got the rivers and all these fun and cool shit. But hey, this is still the United States, man.
We have California girls in 2 pieces.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. So with that, California will always be the tip of the spear when it comes to cannabis production in the world. Even in Amsterdam, when I landed in Amsterdam, people running the coffee shops are like, did you bring anything? Like, fuck no. There's cavity searches at that fucking dude. I don't want that dude searching me.
Yeah.
Like, so
you can thank my dad for fucking that whole thing up for you guys.
Appreciate it. Not a problem. I'm good. I mean, even when I left Amsterdam, they were on me hard. I had dreads and shit, and they're like, are you sure you don't have anything on you? Are you positive? Like, dude, I got to give it a Shippapole Airport, man. They're on shit. They're like, hey, you might be legal here, but once you get there, you are not. You will go away for a long time. Are you sure? I was like, no, I don't have nothing, man. He's like, you look like you do. I was like, I'm fucked up. I just partied all night. We won like 5 cannabis cups.
There's a lot in my system.
Yeah,
like not on my person.
Yeah, I'm good for the next 8 hours. How long is this flight? We're good. I'll wake up sober there. We're solid.
That's what's up.
They're pretty good on that. But yeah, the California cannabis is always going to be ahead. We will always, our genetics are everywhere. It's not about who grows it, where you grow it. You just got to grow it. So Texas, I think, will do good. Hopefully the state doesn't screw them like Washington did. I know that Oregon's been having a lot of problems with the state. They had a lot of problems with the testing facilities, taxing the shit out of them. To be honest with you, I don't hear much crying about Colorado. I just hear a system that's just going forward, and
I think that's what we need to go after. We need to model ourselves after the Colorado.
I don't want to go after Colorado. Nah, I let Colorado stay Colorado.
I think we need to take a little bit of their system, because I do think out of all of them that have been created that they have it the most right. I'm not going to say they have it right, but they have it the most right.
They have less complaints.
There you go. Okay.
They have more tax money than they know what to do.
They do. They do, right? But their parks are awesome. Their fucking schools are fucking streets are being awesome.
Fun there.
Everything is being badass. And I mean, come on. We all live in Southern California. These roads fucking suck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
You know what I mean?
Teachers are getting fired. All sorts of shit.
Or fucking shot. It's
Your
terrible.
house will get burned down before the fireman gets there.
Yeah.
We could use tax money for sure.
They're not giving no money for schools.
That's dog
They're
shit.
taking them away.
I think in Colorado they are though now.
Yeah,
California's going to end up with a lot of money, and they're going to have to distribute it properly. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Well, one thing I'll give California that always works out in politics is good old American greed seems to always find its way right into.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If they can let the local municipality, I can't even say that word. I'm so high right now.
Municipalities.
There you go.
Oh.
Thanks. That's a good one right there. That fucking loud pack did not let that happen. Son of a bitch. So there you go. So anyways, back at the farm. So if they can let the local communities say, hey, this is fucking Bob here. We've busted Bob 20 times over the last 20 fucking years growing every season. Hey, Bob, we're tired of busting you. Can you grow legally and help it? We'll give you a job. We'll pay you, give you mutiny. You won't get in trouble. Like, you can do what you passionately love because you're going to do it anyways, and we're going to kick your fucking door in like we've been doing all this time. We don't want to do that no more, Bob. And so hopefully Bob pulls his head out of his ass like, hey, you know what? Sometimes you have to walk with the ducks even though you're a wolf.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's you got to do what you need to do if you really love this.
We've all seen Finding Nemo, the sharks, man.
You gotta get on it.
You know, fish
I'm more
are
of the
friends,
turtle guys.
not food.
I'm the turtle dude.
Yeah, that's what's up. You are a fucking turtle. That is nail on,
turtle guys.
fucking hit the nail on the head right there.
So hopefully Texas does well. I think I think these other states, what they need to, I'm just going to do one of my consulting things and throw this out there for free, but if you're in these states, even in California, there needs to be more adventures in cannabis. That's what we did with the coffee shop, was to have an adventure for you to come in and see the culture from somebody that's been driving the culture. Doug has been driving the culture, so you can come in and see the pipes that drove his passion.
Yes.
You get to see the art that's drove in Chalice. You can see these things that have been happening there. So when we go to Texas, when I go to El Paso, there should be a cannabis experience.
And a Hitman coffee shop.
We're working on that. If you want one, please contact Doug. There's coffee shops available. He is definitely ready to run that model everywhere. And there's no cannabis sales, so that's why it works. And the coffee can go everywhere because we don't infuse the coffee, so it's just coffee.
Right.
Yeah. And as Eddie said earlier, we were at the Hitman coffee shop grand opening, and it was an amazing thing. Thank you very much, Dougie.
It looks super cool.
Oh, it was fucking amazing, bro.
Yeah,
it was fucking amazing. Thank you, Dougie, for putting me on the guest list. My little brother and I had a blast. He had never been to anything like that before, and then he got to go to that with me.
That's good.
So he was just amazed, bro. You were blowing him away. He's like, oh my god. He's looking at everybody else. We're sitting there with Kiwi, and he's like, I follow these guys on Instagram, and I'm like, I know, bro. I'm like, dude, they're my friends. He's like, oh fuck. He was just so blown away. The fact that, you know what I mean? Like, I walked up and I'm like, hey man, I don't have anything to dab, and you fucking handed me something right here.
We had a sponsor.
Yeah,
it was all
here.
good.
You need some dabs here? Fuck.
That shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, it wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
It wasn't an issue, and I didn't think it would be. That's why I kind of didn't take anything. You know what I mean? I was like,
Exactly.
well, I know where I'm going. I know
Exactly.
people there. I'm not really worried about it. But shout out to Dougie and the Hitman Coffee Shop, because it is an amazing place. It is an amazing experience to be able to go there.
Yeah.
I will be getting a membership there.
Nice.
I don't have one currently, but I'm sure Dougie and I can work something out.
Yeah,
on
it'd
that
be good
level.
because it was really cool. Because when you showed up, actually, the guys that were sitting with me that we're smoking with,
Right.
they have never been to any cannabis events ever. These are like some cactus collectors that I do.
Right. I was
cactusing with.
talking to them
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, and he's a gearhead too. I like that.
Yeah, the dude's on the car. So when he showed up, I was like, hey, he's like, oh, they smoke, so they're down smoking. So they're taking a couple of hits, and they brought me some cactuses. It was it was great. I had a great day cactusing that day. So they're there, and then they're like, hey, I was like, you guys want to take a dab? And they're like, yeah. And then I said, well, this is Trickster. He's a piecer. He works, and the fucking kid hit the floor. He's like, oh my gosh, this is Trickster from CBS. He's like, oh, and Trickster was like, hey brother, or just Trickster. This is Mr. fucking Trickster. I don't know if he's from CBS or not. Sorry about that if you're not, brother. But anyways, he was like, yo, this is Mr. Trickster. You're like an amazing. I follow your graffiti. This, and like the dude was like, this is like a rock star to me. And I was like, dude, just take a dab with him.
Yeah.
Smoke with Trickster.
Homies and family.
Smoke with
here,
Trickster. He's the boy. Like he's the homie, Doug. He's a funny motherfucker. He's an amazing artist, So that's the experience you get at the coffee shop.
Yes,
They're like, there's Cheese Glass with his amazing lamps, and there's I just don't even want to name all kinds of people because there's so much shit there. Because
I didn't want to either. I was like, I can start name dropping, but fuck, we could sit here for another 20 minutes and name drop everybody that we saw.
Yeah.
But just shout out to everybody at the Hitman Coffee House. Shout out to the entire Hitman team. You guys were working your fucking asses off that night and working your asses off to get the coffee shop prepared. So just shout out to you guys and the hard ass work that you guys do.
So the cool thing is that I want to talk about the coffee shop is that he asked me to put my cactus in there.
Yes.
So which is part of my visionary collection, I call it, which I was extremely humbled that Dougie was like, hey man, bring some of those pieces in here. I was like, man, I've been in his house, and he's like, shut the fuck up about cactus. I've given him San Pedros. I've given him. He's like, bro, like, just shut the fuck up about. We're talking about hash right now. Who the fuck is talking about cactus? Like, I'm trying to steer your direction, bro. Like, let's talk about something different. I've been talking about fucking weed for like 20, 30 years.
Right. Yeah.
I want to talk about something different. What does weed inspire us, to do? But with Doug, everything's super inspiring. So it's like, we talk about a fucking festival. We have festivals. We talk about art. We have massive art. We talk about clothing lines. He's got all kinds of clothing lines.
Seems like you give the guy an idea, and he's like, oh yeah, cool, and he's got a fucking company.
Yeah. Dude, I've always told everybody that he walks a plank to jump into success. It's like, they're like, he finds out that he can walk upside down on the plank. So it's like, oh shit, I get to walk upside down. I can walk on the side of the plank, and people are like, he's fucking walking the plank. All the fucking haters and all those crews are like, Doug's going down. We're sticking it to him, and Doug's was like, I'm fucking Eddie. This is you put the racing blinds on, man. I'm running this shit. I'm not running this shit for them. I'm running this shit for me. And so I'm not a piece of shit like these haters. So why am I gonna read into it? Why am I gonna believe that of me when I know that's not me? My pipes are made right here, and he didn't have to. Like, he was preaching to the fucking choir. I'm right there with him, designing pipes, taking a piece of paper that we're drawing on, walking into the fucking studio, and then turning into a piece that we're like, this pipe sucks. We need a different one. Or shit, we just made an amazing fucking piece. Bam, Hitman Glass has a new pipe out. That's the inspiration was done right here at home. And so that was where I had a lot of. Like, every time we do something, so when he was like, hey, bring these cactus in here, I see what you're doing with it. I feel it. Yeah. Like, I want you to bring some pieces in. So I was able to reach out to the people that I collect with, because I work with, like, the Chavin herbalists down in Peru and Brazil, and these guys actually get me pieces from, like, Ecuador and Argentina. I have original pieces from these lands. A good friend of mine is Cactus Affinity. Triconest is one of the original collectors in California, and he's a young kid, but this dude's been collecting pieces for, like, 20 years. Right. And so I started finding out there's genetics like OG Kush and Sour Diesel in the cactus world. Like, they're there.
That's awesome.
And it's in all the plant worlds. This is a fucking rose bush out there that you can't get, that some dude bred, that everybody wants to fucking flower, but he ain't giving it up except for him and his close circle of crew. Right. But they use it for breeding, so they offer seeds of this hybrid of this one plant you can't get. So, dude, the plant world is amazing, and I've been heavily influenced by it. And so, I get all these entheogenic plants from the land. Like, we have ibogaine from fucking Africa. We have we have cat from so we have some shit. So we've been able to get the plants
on a whole nother level,
and it's gonna take 20 years before these plants make medicine. They're 20 years before they make medicine. They're not illegal. A lot of these plants, they're not illegal, but extracting them, it takes a fucking genius and a chemist and extraction equipment. Yeah, and I don't know all that. I just want to grow the fucking plant and look at it. That's all I want to do. I want to enjoy it, and I trip the fuck out when I grow some of these plants, because I've been growing weed for so long that I couldn't believe that it had so much stigmatism to it. That doors were being kicked in, people were going to prison for it, and people were getting killed over it. And it was just terrible on how propaganda worked. The war on drugs was the war on us. Yeah. And it just made so much sense of that. Hey, why are plants are the last witch hunt? If you got this plant, they're gonna hunt you down. And so they were sorcerers. I've been called a warlock. I've been called a sorcerer.
Warlock, I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, because I was like, yeah,
I like that.
That was a good one. Like, he's a fucking warlock. You mean all of his shit?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm the warlock with your dreads and everything.
Oh yeah. Like, look at his fucking logo. He's got mushrooms. He's got mescaline. He's got ayahuasca. He's got ibogaine. He's got peyote.
He's got all the good shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's people recognize. Actually, I was wearing my shirt. I had a shirt on there. I was at Knott's Berry Farm, and only certain people were like, "Hey, how do I talk to you about some of those things?" Yeah, nice. I was like, nope. With the family, see you later.
Yeah. Well, there's one more thing I want to hit on before we have to get off the air here, because we have an awesome show coming on next about professional wrestling with my boy Jay, about shutting the fuck up at traffic stops.
That was a heavy one.
And actually, not getting pulled over in the first place because there was some fucking idiot. I believe it was in the Bay. Was it not, Boom?
Yeah, the Bay Area and the East Bay, Castro Valley.
All right. That some fucking idiot was talking on his cell phone, and we all know that is illegal now here in California, and he had the cell phone up to his ear. Okay, I repeat that. He had the cell phone to his ear. Ooh. He got caught with 300 pounds and $1 million in fucking cash.
Dirty as fuck.
So my question was, how do you get his ticket for talking on the cell phone, which is like, what, $50?
Yeah.
Or, right?
Yeah.
To getting pinched with this. And so go ahead.
By not shutting the fuck up.
Got it. Made all the sense.
I'm sorry, Frank. What did you say? $250.
for
Boy,
something.
he's going to pay a bit
Yeah,
more than
never
that
mind.
for these 300.
Right.
fucking
Okay.
300 units.
A lot
in
more.
That ticket's still on this charge, I guarantee.
Right. Yes, exactly. It is. And let me bring it to the latter part of that statement of $1 million in cash. Now, if you have $1 million in cash, people, I'm sorry, you have enough fucking money to buy a Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah. But
It
Okay, what
wasn't
are
his
they?
money; it was the boss's money.
Right, but I'm sorry, but if I'm
That
driving
was-
$1 million
that was
in
Space's money.
cash, I am telling these motherfuckers to give me a fucking Bluetooth.
No, because the boss said
Give me a
you
driver.
don't need to be on your phone when you're transporting my shit.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? And all of this leads back to him being on the cell phone. He couldn't shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right? He
yeah.
had to open his mouth. He had to be talking on a cell phone.
Yep.
And he got pulled over and he got fucking pinched. And let me tell you what, he not only got hit with all those charges, but we've all been in this game for quite some time. How many of you get out scot-free if you lose 300 pounds and $1 million fucking dollars?
Oh, no, you're in trouble.
No. Yeah. You are an employee at that point, and your boss is gonna come fuck you up,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
knows where to find you.
It's better just be in jail.
Probably rather
Yeah.
stay in Santa
Time
Rita. Yeah,
Hills
buddy.
thing,
Yeah.
You know, they're like, can you guys charge me on 96? Like,
Yeah,
on,
yeah. Can
like,
we go
on the
federal?
wall? Yeah,
Federal.
Can we go
Federal.
federal real quick?
Yeah.
So I get to like leave the state.
Can I
and
say?
go somewhere else?
I was bringing it for Eddie Lepp and just like
Yeah,
put
just-
me on a real charge?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you like take me to Utah and charge me?
I work for the cartel.
Fucking
Yeah,
Eddie
no.
Lepp. Eddie Lepp.
Yeah.
I just
Is he out? He's out
He's
right
out now, man. Having a good
yeah.
time. Go
Good
Eddie.
deal.
Bless him up, man. Love that dude. So
Good
yeah,
deal.
it's you shut up on the road. You're not supposed to be fucking talking. If you're carrying anything, you don't do that. I mean,
Lawyer.
that Barry Cooper guy taught us that shit before there was even cell phones. I think when he made his videos of "Don't Get Busted,"
Yep.
I think he said, "Don't check your pager." That's how old that shit was.
Yeah. I heard, when I first went, dude, when I first went to
Don't act like an
Oaksterdam.
asshole.
Yeah. Don't be an asshole. That's right. When I
That's
first
the
went to
one.
Oaksterdam, you had to watch those videos.
Oh yeah.
Man, they
Go
fucking
Barry.
made you watch them. You had like, hey, this is how you have to follow and everything. This is a
Yep.
procedure you have to follow when you're talking to the police. And
It was the
everything like
first
that.
thing. Yeah, even any cop tells you, even Barry does in his videos, just show them respect.
Oh, yeah.
You don't. You don't show them respect. They have the ability to fuck your whole world up. So I mean, it's just like the dude serving your food. You know, if you have to be as humble and respecting that dude's stance on his expertise on his job.
Yep. Well, we're going to get out of here pretty soon for the Cannabis Couch. Like I said, we have an awesome show coming up next. I just want to shout out Eddie for coming over, man. It is
Thanks,
an
you
awesome,
guys.
awesome
Oh, yeah,
experience
thank
to
you very
have you
much.
here.
Sorry to run
And,
your mouth. Sorry to run my
you know
mouth.
what? I'm actually about to say, please come back because
shit,
I
no.
want you to run your mouth some more. It's
Nice,
a really
thank you.
awesome thing to hear you speak. I sit here, I'm in awe. Next time I'm not fucking with you, I'm going to be taking notes
Nice.
because I am going to go rewatch this podcast because we do broadcast over YouTube. Go
Nice.
check us out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's
Hey.
what's up. You've been on camera the
Eye
whole
in the
time.
sky.
And I want to shoot out. We have a show coming up on Monday, Cannabis Couch, 4 to 6. My boy Donovis is on, and he runs a nice delivery service from around here. He knows a lot about growing. I've learned a lot from that man as well. But again, we are the Cannabis Couch. This is Kaotic Radio, and we are brought to you by the TerpHouse. You all have a good fucking night. And Danny Boom, send him out with something good.
Peace. See you on Monday.
Bye, everybody.